What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, as you guys can tell by the background, by the lighting, you guys are wondering what's going on. Why is it so dark out? So, at the time that I am recording this video, it is Wednesday, June 1st, and it is 9:15 p.m. right now. I'm like about an hour and a half away from going to bed right now. You guys are wondering, why am I filming this now instead of filming it on the day that I post it? Well, I ended up realizing that I'm being caught with some bullshit that I gotta deal with tomorrow. So, by the time you guys see this, it will be Thursday. So I've got plans. Unfortunately, I got places to be. I got some shelves to put up if we ever get to that point. But I can tell you one thing right now. This summer, now that we have entered the summer, I can guarantee you it is going to be very interesting, to say the very least. But with that being said, tonight's video actually, today's video, I'm going to be revealing my predictions for WWE Hell in a Cell 2022, where most of the matches on the card are all from Monday Night Raw. I don't know if we're going to get any from SmackDown. We may end up getting them like on SmackDown this Friday. I guess we could assume that with Madcap Moss coming back this Friday, we could assume that he'll probably challenge Corbin to a match at Hell in a Cell, possibly inside Hell in a Cell, which is a possibility, but we don't really know all the details. We don't know what's gonna go on this Friday, but all the matches are from Raw, and we kick things off with a very intriguing six-person mixed tag team match, which is between the team of Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, and the phenomenal AJ Styles against Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Edge of the Judgment Day. A brand new faction on Raw that is a very weird faction. And before we continue with this video, if you guys enjoyed this prediction video and you guys want to see more in the future, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any future content that comes your way. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Now, this rivalry between the Judgment Day and the team of Morgan, Styles, and Balor pretty much actually started when Finn Balor challenged Damian Priest for the United States title and took the title from Priest. That was when Damian Priest started to had become heel, and I think the seeds of him becoming a heel were planted at Survivor Series when he got himself disqualified, unfortunately. And not only that, it escalated a little bit further with Edge and AJ Styles competing at WrestleMania. Damian Priest got involved. Edge ended up picking up the victory, but Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan ended up losing their match at WrestleMania, but lost again the night after WrestleMania, and then again when they challenged for the tag team titles. And I think that was just the last straw for Rhea, and thus she ended up joining Judgment Day. Which, I mean, to be fair, Edge has more experience than both Ripley and Priest combined, so it would make sense for those two to learn what Edge had learned over the years of being in the business. But let's not forget, Styles has literally what? Has what, 24 years? 24 years of experience in the ring, whether it was from his days in Ring of Honor, in Japan, and TNA, even in WCW. He competed in WCW at one time, and now in WWE. 6 years in the game. Woof. It's pretty crazy. And then, of course, too, Finn Balor, has been a part of Japan for throughout most of his career, competed in NXT not once but twice, both times becoming not only NXT champion, but also became the first ever Dusty Cup winner with Samoa Joe. And then Liv Morgan, she's still young. She still has a lot of potential that has not been tapped into yet. And I think by having her team up with Styles and Balor, she could potentially have that potential tapped, and she could potentially become a champion. She's already challenged for multiple championships in WWE. The Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, the Women's Tag Team titles. She even competed in Money in the Bank numerous times, but yet could not reach that brass ring. But with this matchup, it all comes down to who wants this match more? Who needs it more? Is it Judgment Day, or is it the team of Morgan, Styles, and Balor? I think it's Styles, Balor, and Morgan, simply because of the fact that they're going up against a team who don't know each other, basically. There's the faction is still relatively new, and Styles and Balor have known each other for years. So the chemistry that they have, mixed in with the tenacity and the fearlessness, if you will, of Liv Morgan, that could be the key that they need to defeat Judgment Day. But if there's one thing that history has taught us, heel turns can happen at any given fucking moment. But still, I gotta go with Morgan, Styles, and Finn Balor. Next up, we have a match that's basically a rematch from this past Monday on Raw, as Mustafa Ali will get his one-on-one match for the United States title, a proper match. And what's interesting about this is that Theory has been champion for a little over a month now, and has only had one or two title defenses. I mean, I get it. Pick and choose your own battles. I totally get that. But this is Theory we're talking about here. Theory is a dude who simply does not give a good fuck. All he gives a fuck about is taking selfies. That's all he gives a fuck about. He don't give a damn about the United States title. He doesn't give a fuck about anything but taking selfies, which I don't blame him. But at the same time, it's like, really? Taking selfies on the job? I mean, it's one thing to take selfies when you're in, when you're on a commercial, when you're on commentary and you're on a commercial. That's one thing, but really, Theory? I don't know, but we all know that Mustafa Ali will probably get screwed over by Theory at the hands of The Miz or something like that. So I gotta go with Theory on this one. Next up, we have a very intriguing one-on-one match between Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. Yeah, Elias's younger brother. Who the fuck knew? Who the fuck knew that Elias had a twin younger brother? Who the fuck knew, right? I'm just gonna be honest. We all know Alpha Academy will probably get involved, even though they kind of got pissed off at Kevin Owens for what he did on Raw. But I gotta go Kevin Owens on this one. The experience factor will always come into play no matter what. And Ezekiel, apparently he's still new, but we all know. We know. Next up, we have the almighty Bobby Lashley against Omos and MVP. It's interesting because MVP Bobby Lashley, apparently, according to MVP, Bobby Lashley was like a brother to MVP, and excuse me, while it is true that MVP did hand Lashley the WWE title and his second United States title, who was there when he first became United States champion, when he became a two-time ECW champion, when he became a two-time Intercontinental champion? Who was there? The answer? The WWE Universe. They were there cheering him on, cheering him on, Lashley, 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 every single time. And MVP was like, nuh-uh, I'm not having it. It's all about the money. It's all about the money and the women. Honestly, it's one thing to, to give a damn about the money for your family. That's one thing, but having a bunch of women surround you when you know you're married, not the best option. Not the best option. Of course, I wouldn't know that from experience, but still, if there's one thing that anime has taught me, it's that you don't want to surround yourself with women when you know you're in a committed, when you know that you're in a committed relationship, or if you're married. Case in point, I'm actually watching on this website called animixplay.to. Shoutouts to them, no copyrights, of course. And I'm watching the second season of The Familiar of Zero. Unfortunately, the first season was dubbed, everything else was not, unfortunately. Kind of bullshit, honestly, but the second season is called Night of the Twin Moons, and I have to admit the season is actually pretty lit. Pretty lit. They finally admitted their feelings for one another. Saito and Louise, they finally admitted their love for one another. But yeah, for some reason, Saito keeps surrounding himself with women for some reason. We all know. But again, that's MVP for you. But here's the thing. This is Omos we're talking about here. 7'3", 400 pounds of girth. Like, massive fucking girth. That's what she said. Anyway, just massive girth, muscles, literally all over the place. The dude can whip your ass and smile at you and love it. That's the type of man Omos is. But this is Bobby Lashley we're talking about here. This is a man who has more experience than both Omos and MVP combined. Because MVP, he's rarely in matches anymore. You know, I think prior to the last couple weeks, the last time he was in action, I think it was right around the time that I want to say it was like right around last year, 2021. I want to say right before he got injured, and I have to admit, MVP. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a former United States champion and a former tag team champion, but Omos, people forget Omos is a former Raw tag team champion, but Lashley is a two-time U.S. champion, a two-time IC champion, two-time ECW champion, and a two-time WWE champion. 4 titles, twice. So what does that say about MVP and Omos compared to what that says about Bobby Lashley? The answer, Bobby Lashley comes out on top. That's what I'm picking. I'm picking Bobby Lashley. Next up, woo-hoo! Ladies and gents, we got a hell of a matchup for you guys. It is the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins one more time. This time inside the name of the show, Hell in a Cell. I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a hell of a banger because if you guys recall, the last time Rhodes was inside Hell in a Cell, he had teamed up with Ted DiBiase Jr. to face off against DX, and yeah, apparently Rhodes ended up having some major neck problems after that. But that being said, Rhodes knows he now knows about Hell in a Cell, but Seth Rollins has been in a few Hell in a Cell matches in his career. So I'm actually going to go online. So let's see. If I can somehow manage to... There we go. There we go. Finally, something actually came up. So he's been in, I believe, 4 Hell in a Cell matches, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, I think he's been in 4, maybe 5 Hell in a Cell matches. I know that one of them was against Bray Wyatt. The other one was against Dean Ambrose. The other one was Kevin Owens. That's what, 3? Edge, I think, would make 4. So I think this would be his 5th Hell in a Cell. If I'm correct. If I have this correct, I believe so. So let's see. I know that he's been in So if I remember correctly, the first one was against Dean Ambrose. The second, I believe, was Kevin Owens. Third was against Bray Wyatt. The fourth was against Edge. So this would make it, I believe this would make it his 5th, this 5th Hell in a Cell, which is actually kind of crazy. Oh, actually, this might work. Wikipedia might help me out. Big shoutouts to Wikipedia. No copyrights. You guys know how this works with the algorithm. So I want to see list of Hell in a Cell matches. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, obviously with the help of Kane. Let's see. Okay. Alright, here we go. So the first one was against was against Dean Ambrose. The second was Kevin Owens. The third was obviously against Bray Wyatt, and then his last one was actually against Edge. Okay, yeah, I thought so. So this will make it his 5th consecutive Hell in the Cell, and then I think Cody Rhodes, this would be his 2nd. If I'm right on this, this would make it only his 2nd Hell in the Cell. Yeah, I thought so. Which is pretty crazy, but it mainly just comes down to who has more experience in this matchup, and obviously it's Seth Rollins. He's been in 4 previously. This would be his 5th, but Cody Rhodes, with the help of DX, he was able to get more knowledge of Hell in the Cell than people the people give him credit for. So this is a hard one, but a part of me wants to say Cody Rhodes, but I'm gonna go with Seth freaking Rollins on this one for 2 reasons. One is obviously the experience factor, but the second reason, Seth wants to ensure that Cody Rhodes leaves WWE again, like he did 6 years ago. And I think Hell in a Cell will be the way to do it. But this is Cody Rhodes we're talking about here. There's no way that he'll go down like that without a fight. But I am going to go with Seth on this one. Just mainly because of the experience factor. But we now move on to the last match on the card as it sits now. I don't know what other matches we'll have on the card. I honestly don't know. We will find out this Sunday. We will find out this Friday night on SmackDown if there will be more matches on the card. It's hard to say, but I think it'll most likely just be a Raw show, which is kind of cringe, honestly. It is a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title between the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, and Big Time Becky Lynch. Originally, it was supposed to have been Asuka versus Belair, but Becky Lynch injected herself into the match, thus making it a triple threat. Now, we all know that originally it was supposed to have been that this whole thing started originally as a six-pack challenge. Sasha Banks and Naomi, the women's tag team champions, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH. Because of the bullshit that Sasha and Naomi pulled on Raw that night, handing the head of talent relations, their titles, and walked out, it ended up becoming one-on-one between Asuka and Becky. Sasha and Naomi, Doudrop and Nikki ASH out of the equation. Excuse me. And then became one-on-one. Asuka with the Green Mist, paying homage to the legendary Grey Muta and of course Tajiri as well, used the mist on Becky Lynch to pick up a victory over Asuka. To pick up a victory over her. Thus, Asuka became the number one contender. And then Becky Lynch said, "Make it a triple threat. Let's make it happen." And so WWE official Adam Pearce was like, "Okay, you know what? You want to make it a triple threat? All you gotta do is just beat Asuka. Beat her, it becomes a triple threat." And Becky Lynch was like, "All right, cool." And she ended up doing just that. So now it's a triple threat. Bianca Belair now has a lot to prove. This is probably the biggest match of her career. Because, hang on guys, gotta move my chair back a bit. Because now she's facing off against not one, but two former Raw Women's Champions, both of which became SmackDown Women's Champion. But, let's not forget, Asuka's the only one that became the second longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in history, second to Shayna Baszler, of course. But Asuka was dominant in NXT. She was dominant on Raw, dominant on SmackDown. She's dominated all over the place, and this is her chance to right the wrongs of her past and become Raw Women's Champion yet again. But there's no way in hell that Becky Lynch is going to go down without a fight, and Bianca Belair will do whatever it takes to win. But let's also not forget, Becky Lynch will also play the third wheels game. Basically, what that means is she steps out of the ring. Bianca and Asuka beat the hell out of each other. Becky Lynch comes in, picks up the scraps. 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Becky Lynch walks out champion. That's the game that she's going to be playing. But knowing Asuka and Bianca Belair, there is no way in hell that they're going to play by those games. So, if I had to make a bold prediction, I would have to say still Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. But that brings me to the question of the day. As the card sits now, what are your guys' predictions for Hell in a Cell, and what matches from SmackDown would you like to see happen at Hell in a Cell? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more premium live event prediction videos in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail that you guys want to send me and you guys want me to open it up on the channel, all the info will be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.